Welcome to the Good Fight Radio Show, a program dedicated to bringing you vital and uncompromised truths that you won't hear in the mainstream media, discussing contemporary issues in light of the Bible and how these issues relate to family, culture, and the church. The heart of this show is to glorify Jesus Christ and expose the works of darkness as He is commanded in Ephesians 5:11. Now here's your host, Good Fight Ministries' own Chad Davidson. Welcome back to the Good Fight Radio Show. I'm your host, Tony Palacio. I know most of you are used to hearing Chad Davidson host the show, but he's taking a much-needed break, which is actually just a clever way of me saying he actually has no idea about this show and I've gone rogue. Today, we have a very special guest in the studio with us. We have Trent Monk and his wife, Shelly, of We Are the Monks, a Christian music duo, husband and wife team. They have some great music, and some of you might remember Trent Monk from his former band, Monk and Eagle. They had several hits on Christian radio about 10 or 15 years ago. Well, now he's teamed up with his wife, and they are forging their own path in ministry across the country and sharing their, they're sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ around the nation and talking about their family. They have 2 children, and they're traveling around the country as a family, and their kids are growing up in the faith and learning what it's like to minister to others and be an encouragement to others, and the whole social gamut that goes along with that in being a Christian and being in Christ. So that's incredibly awesome to see that they're doing this with their children. Not a lot of Christian artists or artists in general are able to do that, where they go about doing their ministry as a family, because it can be very challenging, but the Lord has blessed them, and they're out there with their entire family ministering to others through their music, and it's just an awesome thing to see. So welcome into our makeshift Good Fight Radio Network studio.
Yes, thank you for having
me. Which is my messy office.
It's pretty organized for messy, I'll say.
You should see our van later.
Okay, well, it's good to have you guys on the show.
Thank you.
Why don't we start by talking about how you both started in music and what your first, how you first got called into the ministry?
Yeah, absolutely. I started about 20 years ago, which is crazy to say that, in my youth group, learning a few worship songs and leading worship, and then started trying to write songs. And it just kind of grew from there. And then, fast forward, I don't know, 5 or 7 years from that point, I some days I don't know how, but I got a record deal. I had recorded a couple independent records and then ended up with a record deal. And a buddy of mine, Mr. Michael Neagle, and I formed a band called Monk and Eagle. And we had some good days, some good times, and little small successes, nothing too huge, but enough to kind of help me keep doing this. And that's where I started. And we'll get into more of this later, but I'm having more fun now than I've in this business than I've ever had.
Now that you're in control, right?
Yes.
Well, God's in control, but
God's in control. And
yeah.
I'm not a control freak unless I'm driving.
Then it comes out.
Right.
It all comes out.
Shelly, how about you?
Yes. Well, as far as doing this together, that happened, I don't want to say I was thrown into it. It happened organically and naturally, but I would have never thought I would be performing and, ministering to people.
She started out just handling merch for me when I went solo after Monk and Eagle, and then I recognized that she had some just raw talent, just like an ear. She had rhythm. So I was like, hey, what if...
She was holding out on you.
What if you, play percussion with me on a few songs, And kind of started there. And I was like, hey, maybe you sing a couple.
Put a mic in front of my face. And, but I do have musical background. I took piano. I played saxophone in school band. So it's not like I was just... It was natural, I guess.
Yeah, you have experience in that and talent. So
Most definitely.
And so now you fast forward to what she's doing now, singing harmonies. I mean, literally, when she first started, it was like, why don't you come up on like the middle of the set, do like 4 songs, and then awkwardly exit the stage.
It's very disjointed.
And so the first night we did that, I was like, I'm sorry. You're either going to have to learn all the songs or that's not going to work. So
Do you remember I'd have like, I would have, because I used to play cajon and shaker and tambourine, and I would have rhythm cheat sheets just that I would look down on. Okay, boom, tap. It was hilarious.
Boom, tap.
Boom,
yeah, that was
tap.
her lingo was, okay, boom, tap, pause.
tap.
Well, you sound great now, so
Oh,
it's
hey,
working.
thank you.
However you got there, it's
now
working.
she's playing keys and shaker, and I'm now that she's acclimated to that, I'm gonna give her back the tambourine. I'm now playing the tambourine. I'm gonna give that back to her and add some more stuff down. We've got all kinds of stuff going on.
But you only have 2 feet to play all those instruments down there.
Right.
On the
Well,
floor.
she has now a free foot. So now that I'm gonna give her back the tambourine, and then I'll do a snare, and then I'm doing a kick with the other. But
You're very talented. You're definitely using your entire
We just don't want to hire
being
people
to
to
put
come
into
with
the
us.
worship music.
it's talented maybe, or we just cheap. We don't want to hire a band.
Right? Cheap.
Use what you got.
Well, let's get into how you guys met and the story of how you came to do music ministry together. How'd that come about?
Okay, we met through mutual friends in Texas, Belton, Texas, which is near Austin. They both knew us separately, and we had both gone through bad relationships, and we were single, and so they said, "Oh, y'all need to meet," and so we did. They orchestrated this cookout.
She did quotes with the
Air
cookout.
quote cookout. And it was indeed a cookout, but all the other guests were invited to be buffers so that Trent and Shelley could meet. And so it was just kind of some awkward stares, making sure
Yeah.
we were talking and hitting it off.
Does everyone have their plate of food?
Right.
And now be sure to just stare at Trent and Shelley throughout the night
Yeah.
as they either hit it off or do not.
We did. We hit it off. So, and here we are.
Well, we're glad you guys did.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because you're
And
making
then
great music. So.
After dating a while, I mean, I had put music aside, and I went to culinary school for a minute, and I was just searching what
Built pergolas.
did some
and decks.
construction work
Wow.
on my own, and I thought music was done for me, but then it started God reminded me in a lot of ways why he wasn't done with me there. So I being the lack of romantic that I am.
You are romantic.
You're sweet, but I was basically like, hey, I feel called to do music. Will you marry me and hit the road with me and quit your job that's a steady paycheck? And I mean, what do you think about that? And I don't have any money right now, so I don't even have a ring. But I just,
And this was November, and I said, "Is December too soon to get married?" And we waited till March, but basically that's how it went down.
Yeah.
My poor parents were like, "You have insurance, and you get paid every month. You're a teacher," but they blessed it. They were fine with it,
Yeah, they get it now.
or they
It's
kept
been
their
long
mouth
enough.
shut.
Yeah, I think that's more that what it is.
Well, when God brings two together, right? You just
Yeah.
you know it. You know it in your heart of hearts,
Yeah.
and you obviously prayed about it, and
yeah.
no doubt about it, right?
And look, we've been together almost. We're on our 9th year of marriage, and
10th
we're on our 10th year of marriage.
March will be 10. So Brad, this is the
We're
10th.
on our 10th year of marriage.
Wow.
That's awesome. And we have spent 24/7 together in that time, pretty much, and we still really enjoy each other's company. So that's a God
awesome.
thing.
Praise the Lord.
I just had a guy ask me this morning, like, how do y'all do it? I mean, my wife and I, we just fight. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
We
I don't
never
know.
fight.
We have our moments, but
Well, it's that perfect blending. You know, God puts two together that are just perfectly matched.
yeah,
right.
yeah, man.
That's right.
The strengths and the weaknesses go back and forth between the two of you,
Exactly.
and it just
Yeah.
works.
Definitely get different giftings. Like
Yeah.
you handle packing the car. I don't mess with that. Not my gift.
That's awesome.
So you guys have 4 albums in release now.
We
yeah.
released our debut husband and wife self-titled record, and you said 2014. I'm terrible with dates.
March 2014, because Oliver, our oldest, was 3 months old, and we put out our first project. So it was lots of labors of love, if you will.
Yes, yeah, and so that, and then after that, a couple of years later, we did a hymns project.
I think the Christmas was first.
Okay, we'll go with that. I again,
Because-
timeline dates for me is just like, I don't know,
Yeah.
happened sometime before today.
The Christmas
Sometime
EP.
before today, yeah.
And the reason I know that is because we released the hymns, the next one, when Amelia was a baby.
Oh, that's right.
We were
Okay.
on this trend of like new music, new baby. But
Oh,
we
that's
have
right.
since released the fourth one, but no new baby. We're good.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
good with 2.
New music? No
No new baby.
So we have this new record, and it's it had happened very organically, and what I mean by that is just the guys that I was writing with, we were just writing because we love to write, and then one of the writers and I just started demoing the songs, thinking, maybe these songs are for someone else, or maybe they're for me. I'm not really sure, and it just grew from there. And before we knew it, we had, I don't know, 5 to 7 songs that were just like, hey, these are good songs. And he's like, well, let's just, do the rest of these songs we've written and call it a record. And it was crazy because I've done a lot of records in my career. Mm-hmm. They've always been, you pay a certain amount of money for the producer and you go in and you do it. And this was the first time where just me and a buddy who's a very talented songwriter and producer, Joel Russo, we made a record for next to nothing. And
Wow.
and it sounds like $1 million, I think.
Yeah,
So-
he said that it was kind of him saying, I will be involved as little or as much as you would like.
Yeah, Joel said that. Joel said, hey, if you want to just do a few songs, we'll do songs. If you want to do a full record, let's just jump in and do this. I want to. These are. I believe in these songs. Let's do. And I said, let's make a record then. Let's go.
It took
That's
about
awesome.
a year, though.
It did. It took a little over a year, and then once that was done, we had 2 kids. We kind of had gotten acclimated to having 2 kids in this crazy ministry and business.
acclimated?
Sure.
Ever acclimated when they're young?
Yeah, and then we hit the road back last year in September. We've been touring for years, but this was the first time where it's like our schedule's full. Let's pack up the kids. Let's sell everything that's not sentimental, and let's hit the road. And
Wow.
let's buy an RV when we find the right one. So that's kind of in the nutshell.
So
of
really
the- of the
stepped
big
out in
story.
faith.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Now, you have a song, I don't know which album it's on, These Arms.
Yeah,
You wrote
that's on our
before
debut.
your first son, Oliver, was born.
Uh-huh.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, man, it's just one of those sweet songs that I remember writing. As a new father, just I always want our arms, our like physical arms, sure, but our presence to feel like home for our kiddos.
These arms were made to hold you, to comfort and keep you warm. They were made to shelter and love you forever. These arms were made to carry you on. So when you go and see, when you do and be, and take this world by storm, you'll always find a place in my warm embrace, 'cause these arms were made to be your home.
This is going by too fast for us. I can already tell. Our son's 5 and Amelia's 3.
Yeah, they grow up fast.
And it's going to be over in a flash. And we want them to always, we pray that they feel excited to come back and be around mommy and daddy. So
And bring their children if they choose to have children. Please, dear God, let them have children
Yeah.
when they're of age and have found the right spouse.
Well, along the same lines, you have another song called Little One.
yeah, it's for us as parents. None of us parents are going to get it completely right. We're going to mess things up along the way. But if they know Jesus, then that's
Amen.
that's the most important thing. They're going to do well if they grasp.
Train them up in the
meaning
way
of
they should
that.
go, right?
Mhm. Yep.
Little one, innocent and true, so much that I want to teach you, and with the good Lord's help I'll get it right. Things that your granddad taught me, things that showed me what it means to live this life and live it right. Like how to keep your words a sweet sound, to get up when you get knocked down, to be brave when fear is all you feel. how to smile when your skies are rainy, and how to treat a girl like a lady, and how to dance and climb that big oak tree. Yeah, but most of all, I hope you see Jesus in me. Little one, there's a world out there for you to find and see and share. Something new to learn every day. So much that you need to know. Things that guide you as you go and help your feet find their way. Like how to keep your words a sweet sound, to get up when you get knocked down, to be brave when fear is all you feel, and how to smile when your skies are rainy, and how to treat a girl like a lady, and how to dance and climb that big oak tree. Yeah, but most of all, I hope you see Jesus in me. Jesus in me. Yeah. And we will teach you all that we can. These are only words from your mom and your dad. So when you find yourself at the end of a road, you're not sure which way to go, just lean on Jesus and you will understand how to keep your words a sweet sound, and how to be brave.
That's awesome. I mean, that's just really pouring out your heart as parents, which a lot of parents can relate to.
Yeah, we get a good response from parents each night we play that
Do you
song.
have that song about your kids? Right
Yeah.
here on the CD available for purchase.
Yes, yes, yes.
Now, when you're out and about playing,
Mm-hmm.
traveling around, or even when you're not, maybe you get contacts through the internet or email.
Sure.
Are there any songs that people really gravitate towards that really touches their hearts and means a lot to them, that's connecting with people?
Definitely Little One that we just spoke about. But one of the, I don't know, how do you say, I don't want to say front runner. That sounds weird.
I think the most reaction comes from a song called called Mountaintop.
And the funny thing about Mountaintop, he and Joel wrote it with actually our neighbor at the time, Toby Friesen. And I don't know how it got lost in your voice memos or something, or y'all demoed it.
Yeah, we did a little demo of it early on. It was one of the early songs that we wrote, and a lot of times, little demoed songs just get lost in the mix of songs, and so we had a good number of songs recorded, and Joel found it and said, "I forgot about this song," and I listened to it, and it was like listening to it for the first time, like an out of body, like I didn't write it because I'd forgotten about it, and I heard it, and I was like, "What? Oh, Joe, we have to do this."
Yeah.
And now it's turned out to be, one of the more popular ones on the record. So
These words like dogs been following me around, biting my heels, trying to keep me down. Oh, I need you now. My fears that sunk me like a stone, the lowest place that I'd ever known. But your hands reach down, and I will not fear anymore, 'cause I have walked through the valley, and every step you were with me, and my hope has been reborn. The mountain tops where you'll find me. mountaintops where you'll find me, 'cause I have walked through the valley.
The way we're doing things is quite different than most people in the industry.
We have friends who definitely have toured together as husband and wives and travel with their kids until they get to school age, and then their touring schedule shifts to where it's kind of around their school, or they have a nanny, or they have parents that live close to them. We just feel called to homeschool and road school and travel as a family. And that's not for everyone. And some days I'm like, is this, what are we doing? But we just feel like we're called to do it.
Yeah. And we're really trying to soak up these years too. So in the way that we tour, I'll back up. The way that most people tour in the industry and out of Nashville or wherever is, you hit the road for a chunk of shows.
Right. There's a set time.
From 4 to 5 to 10, shows at a time, and you go knock them out, and then you're back home. And most people leave their families behind and go do that, and then they come back home. And I did that for a number of years, and we wouldn't be doing it if we had to do it that way, if we had to leave family behind. So we hit the road and we do a chunk of shows, and then we go. Right now we just camped, and we're going to go camp in Yosemite and near the Grand Canyon, and we're going to go do all these experiences in between. So it's two-part. Our touring is, yes, for our music and ministry, but it's for us as a family to experience life together and for us to teach them as we go. And
that is so awesome.
Hopefully the Lord will allow us to do it for a long time.
He may not, and we're totally
sure. Yeah.
We want to be in his will, so if he says
right,
time to stop, we'll obey.
Yeah.
And be like,
I think
what?
what's really great about it is they're growing up seeing their parents connect with people, minister to people, and that's the environment they're growing up in, which is huge.
Man,
and we see a lot of the questions we get, especially from parents, grandparents who, and any homeschool family will ask, how are they going to get socialized?
Oh, man.
And I see our children go from one church to another and willingly go in, even when Oliver says, I have butterflies, and go make new friends. It gets me emotional.
Yeah.
He can make friends so easily, and I feel like you're going to different groups of people.
Just like mom and dad, though.
Different ages.
No different.
And, it's like you got to work that muscle of how you get along with people.
Yeah. And both us as parents and Oliver and Amelia will start to understand this. We have a core group of friends in Nashville where Oliver has his best buddies, that are at all the, we try to attend their birthday parties and ours. And he always knows that I get to go see those core friends that God put in our lives when we're in Nashville. And so that's important. We know that's important. So we're thankful to have that, but then to be able to just like you said, just make new friends and enjoy it for what it is. And then we hit the road and it's like, oh, I liked meeting my new friend today. And I know I'll meet a new one tomorrow.
Yeah,
That's so great. I mean, at that age, that's just a priceless experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're thankful for that. We've talked with people who grew up that way. Some people that have grown up that way, and they are very successful, and said, I wouldn't have traded that for the world. So that's encouraging to hear that, it was a good experience for them.
Yeah.
So,
Well, before we sign off, is there anything you just want to share from your heart as far as your ministry? I know you want to give out your website, how they can get in contact with you, where your music is available.
Absolutely.
you share about the ministry.
Okay.
I'll do the details.
And we play every church every size church that you can imagine. We have played and will play. We do not care if your church has 3 people in it or 3,000. We love doing what we do. We also love doing house concerts. And yes, it's exactly what you think. We come, we sit up in your living room, and you get 20 or 30 people show up, and we have a ball. And so we love doing that. And so you can contact us through various things that my lovely wife is now going to share with you.
Yeah, so website, as you can imagine, is wearethemonks.com. Instagram is @wearethemonks. Facebook is /wearethemonksmusic. And then our booking email is monksbooking@gmail.com. But all of the other places have links to email or message, and we have been contacted every way you can imagine. And then all the music, of course, iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, every place you get your music, you will find it there.
And you obviously have links through your main website as well.
Yes.
So they can always just go there and
Yep.
filter on through.
Yep.
Now, do you have a certain time of year that you typically go out on the road? Are you out all year?
This year's proving to be just kind of, I mean, being that we when we sold everything, it means we got out of the house and everything. So we're touring nonstop. Now, in between, like I said, when we're not doing shows, we're going to go see things and experience things. And so, yeah, we'll be out all year.
And we always, I guess pretty soon we'll start booking we do a Christmas tour every year.
Okay.
So it's crazy how time flies.
Yeah.
I think we battled for so long, like, why can't we find shows in December? It's like, well, let's offer a Christmas show.
There you
So
go,
now we have
yeah.
a
And
very
people
We Are
start
the
thinking
Monks.
about it in
I know.
July now. So
Yeah.
No, it's
already
the best time of year.
It's already starting to happen. Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll would love to come to wherever you are, listener.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining
Thank
us. It was
you.
great getting to meet you guys and get some background on your ministry.
Thank you for having
awesome.
us.
Praise the Lord,
Look
you
forward
guys.
to next time.
You have been listening to a special visit with Christian artist We Are the Monks on the Good Fight Radio Show. We hope you'll check out their music and maybe consider having them come encourage you with their music at your church. I'm sure they'd really be encouraged to hear from you. We thank you for joining us on this episode of the Good Fight Radio Show, and we look forward to being with you next time, Lord willing. Until then, press on in the matchless name of Jesus. God bless.
Mountaintops where you'll find me, 'cause I have walked through the valley. The mountaintops where you'll find me, 'cause I have walked through the valley.
You've been listening to the Good Fight Radio Show, brought to you by Good Fight Ministries. If you're blessed by this show and would like to partner with us, please consider visiting our Patreon page at patreon.com/goodfight. Or you can write to us at P.O. Box 2202, Simi Valley, California, 93062. Or call us toll-free at 1-866-JC-TRUTH. That's 1-866-528-7884. We hope you'll tune in next time on the Good Fight Radio Show.